On the low, but you know that you're feeling it. We saw recently that the victim from the Club New York shooting came forward and she released a video where she said, you know, that there's been a lot of lies over the years in regards to what happened to her. And if we think about even just that for one example, you know, that's something that he would have ultimately got away with for a number of years. As alluded to, there are other allegations or other things in question that he may have potentially got away with for years. But there's an old saying where they generally say, you know, what's done in the dark often comes to light. So it's like, to me, it's kind of inevitable that some of these things were going to be revealed. And in the time that we're living now of like such a great revelation, we are seeing things that were once hidden being uncovered and being brought to light. This being one of them. You know, we was talking earlier and you said, you know, this guy had 2 homes. I think it could have been 3 that they may have raided. The reports that come in and they said his private jet has been reported flying to some Caribbean island. So some people are feeling that he may have flew the coop already, but there's only so far. He's got to be able to run if that's the case.
You know, the funny thing about that case with the shooting in the club, the New York club, it's funny because my homeboy Shu from New York, out of Long Island, before that shit happened, Shu had took me to that club. He had took me to the New York club. Is you have to come in. When you come in, there's some stairs you got to go up. You just can't walk up in the club. You got a security right there. They frisk you and all that shit. And then you walk up these stairs, and then the club is upstairs, and you go in. So when that shooting had happened, it was like I visualized it because I remember being in that club. You know what I'm saying? And so it's nothing worse than you having your money all the way right, and your money is all the way up. And when you go out, people treating you like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? The Brooklyn cats took the money and threw it in his face. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds correct. It sounds like that could happen. He could pull out the pistol and shoot. Puff ain't no shooter. He don't know nothing about no fucking guns. He don't know nothing about that shit. You know what I'm saying? So he's shooting whatever, how it's done is ricocheting and or whatever, and people getting hit. You know what I mean? And so if you got a bunch of money, people are going to sue you, especially if you are involved in these type of actions. So he paid a bunch of price because of it. He paid a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And the biggest price that he had to pay was he had lost Jennifer Lopez because of that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he ain't just been through his industry and haven't been going through anything, but he has gotten away with a bunch. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, no matter if you get away with it, the people from Unseen or whatever, karma don't wear no sunglasses. Karma gonna get you, no matter what color, creed, or whatever you are. If you did something bad and you up, he gonna make you pay for it.
So I mean, with that you said, you feel any kind of sorrow for Diddy? Do you feel bad?
I feel sorrow. Yeah, I feel sorrow because the reason why I feel a little bit of sorrow is because the shit that they allegedly saying that he's doing, it ain't nothing worse than the shit that's going on that's unseen that we see, but a lot of the world don't see. That a lot of these celebrities is doing. They doing a whole bunch of way out using their celebrity to manipulate and all that. He just is under the scope, and the one being quiet, he was doing it the most, and so.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I was going to say, would you not see that as a good sign then that things are kind of coming down for that type of behavior and activities within the industry? As you said, he probably ain't the only one, and we've heard other alleged names come. Some people feel as though these raids were to find these freak-off tapes that could include other people from the industry and stuff as well. I want to be clear because, as you said, he ain't the only one, and we know that these things happen in the world, but is this a sign that we need to clean up more of these individuals? You know, obviously started with him because he's obviously been one who's been caught. So it's like, as you said, there's a lot of people doing this stuff, but he's somebody who's actually been caught for it. Should that be then like a domino effect, or, you know, used to bring about change and, you know, clean up some of this industry? Or do you think it's irreparable? Do you think there isn't potentiality to clean things up. That it's just a part of how the industry is.
Well, what I'm seeing is you're not really seeing a whole bunch of the other man going to jail. All you seeing is the brother man going to jail. Bill Cosby, Diddy, all the rest of the people that they picking on and dissecting. All you seeing is a bunch of black men. You're not seeing a bunch of white men, and that's where a lot of that is going on. At, but they have money. They're elites, and a lot of the time when they having these parties, they making you sign confidentiality agreements. Like you're not just about to just go and just see some shit and then leave from there. And especially in these times with social media and going and talking about some shit. So they have you signing these contracts, and whatever you see in here is going to remain here, or we're going to sue you. You know what I mean? And a lot of that is going on, and that's why it's unseen. But if for some reason it's being a big flashlight on the black men and the black people, though. But I haven't seen it too much from the white people. And a lot of that is what's going on in the white people. In order for for the black man to be doing it, we have to learn it from somebody. Then they have us on some shit, and not being able to speak English. So we got to learn it from somebody. But it's being hidden. That's all it is.
I think you definitely get it on multiple fronts when looking at different groups. Like I did mention earlier, we had like Vince McMahon, who's the wrestling business, but also huge the entertainment business. Obviously, Harvey Weinstein, everybody's familiar with Harvey Weinstein, Epstein. There's been a few other people that have been called out. Some of them have been called to account, like in terms of serving jail time. Maybe not to the magnitude as we've seen with like certain other celebrities.
Look at Marv Albert. Look at Marv Albert from Channel 4, the commentator. They caught him in the room with his hairpiece all off in the room and bit the bitch on the back and all that type of it came on the news and went away. They know how to make it come. They got to report it because it's news, but they know how to make it just go away. On to the next thing. A cat got found in the tree. You know what I'm saying? With Diddy, with this shit, it's just like an ongoing, like 6-month trial. Like, we're going to bash you in the news. We're going to bash you on social media. We're going to send the police. We're going to make you spend a lot of money through court. And all these lawyer fees and all that type of shit is meant to break you. That he didn't piss somebody off.
Well, I mean,
that's all it is.
How to account, at the minute, everything's still in allegation stages. Obviously, with these raids could subsequently lead to a detainment or an arrest, which people are hoping for just to see, if the truth comes out or what unfolds from this situation. I think it's interesting. I don't want to, defend his alleged actions, and obviously I always say the same thing, like I tend to believe in the stories from victims or survivors. I know sometimes these things can be skewed or sometimes they can be fabricated in some cases, but there seems with this, there's when they say there's no smoke without fire, and then we see
Pee Wee Herman getting caught with his man. You feel me? It came and it went. George Michael getting caught in the bathroom, pulling his man out to an undercover officer. It came and it went. Don't you see the difference? Okay, if you wrong, you wrong. If you wrong, you wrong. You doing wrong shit, you wrong. But at the same time, we know the difference from being wrong and being punished and doing your time for your crime and being railroaded. There's a difference. The Michael Jackson shit, like.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think some of those guys, they didn't came out of the closet as homosexuals. I believe if that is how Diddy get down, if that's his get down, he should, obviously come out. But what I'm going to say is I don't personally think it's too much emphasis on the powers that be above. Maybe they might have a slight hand to play in it, but when you say that it keeps going on, I think a lot of that is from the people. And, you can look at that, whether you say it's us as a community, black people, whether you say it's the hip hop community, but I feel as though a lot of people are continuing the conversation, which some people look at it. I think Benzino posted something and he said, the black community is always, happy to see another black man getting taken down or teared down. Now, some may agree with that, some may disagree, but I do feel there's been a huge portion of, people telling jokes online and that sort of stuff. One thing I have noticed is when these things do generally happen with people from other races and groups, they may mention it, they may speak on it, like the Vince McMahon stuff and all that, but they don't clown too much. They may clown
Right.
slightly a little bit, or they may mention it and say, "Oh, this is horrible, this is bad." They will condemn it, but there's not a constant
Hmm.
and you know, and I'm not saying it's just black people clowning at the minute with Diddy, because I'm seeing all sorts of races clowning, and sometimes that's the sad part, because once as a black man you do something, you open yourself up then for everybody to take shots at you, and because they
Hmm.
don't have any affinity towards him or the culture. So, you know, we're seeing other
Do you
racial
remember? Do
groups
you
take
remember Fonz? Do you remember the Star magazine? Do you remember the Inquirer magazine? Or when
yeah,
you be in a supermarket and shit, and you're about to check out, and all these magazines, like these magazines are still around. These smut magazines, they still around, but not really. These podcasts, these platforms, these are the new Star and Inquirer magazines. That's what this is. You feel what I'm saying? To where people can railroad you, but it takes money to be able to. Okay, next, like well, a couple of months ago, it was Steve Harvey. You feel what I'm saying? A couple of months after that, before that, it was. You feel what I'm saying? It was Charleston White. You feel what I'm saying? It's like it's a. This is the part of it. This is the way of the world. And so, if you didn't piss somebody off and you didn't do something that you weren't supposed to do, and they elite, all they got to do is go through the media. The media is very powerful. You feel what I'm saying? To where people, it goes from allegedly this happened, from allegedly to he did it. The next thing you know is another thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to take that shit on the chin, bro, and keep it pushing and keep
well,
your nose clean.
On the low, but you know that you're feeling it. Them man are killing it. On the low, but you know that you're feeling it. Them man are killing it. On the low, but you know that you're feeling it. Them man are killing it. On the low, but you know that you're feeling it.